Hello everybody, today we are adding and subtracting with scientific notation. So, when we have the same powers of 10, we need to add or subtract values written in scientific notation. The numbers must have the same power of 10. If the powers of 10 are the same, simply add or subtract the numbers out front and keep the power of 10. So for different powers of 10, because of place values, if the numbers in scientific notation do not have the same power of 10, you can choose to rewrite one of the numbers, giving it the same power of 10. Otherwise, convert the values to standard notation and rewrite in scientific notation at the end. So, we're going to do some practicing with adding and subtracting with the same powers of 10 and write all our answers in scientific notation. So for number 1, for example, we had 6.2 times 10 to the 8th plus 2.3 times 10 to the 8th. So when we have anything that looks like this, we need to add the decimals together, and then your decimal will go right there. And then we keep the sign inside the parentheses, and then we keep the exponent. So if we are adding, right, we are still going to be multiplying inside of the parentheses, keeping that operation, and the exponent will stay the same. Now for the next one, we need to take away the numbers in the front. So we had 9 and 4. So I can easily write 9 minus 4, which is a pretty easy problem, right? 9 take away 4 equals 5. Okay, so then I'm going to have 5 as my answer for the first number. Keeping that multiplication sign, the power of 10 is there, and the exponent is going to end up staying the same at -3. For number 3, another example, we had very similar to the example in the top for number 1. We had 1.9 plus 5.42 at a 10 to the negative power of 5. So all I got to do is add the first numbers together. So I had 1.9 plus 5.2 equals 7.32. So 7.32 times 10, my sum will go right there, and the power of 10 will remain the same at -5. So this one looks slightly different. So we had 45 million plus 23 million. So I took the first two numbers and added them together. Okay. So when I did that, I got 6.8. But notice that I got that, and my decimal needs to come between the first and second numbers. So the exponent is the amount of 0 each term has. So each of these terms has 6 zeros. So because they have 6 zeros, I can automatically know what my exponent is going to be by the amount of zeros in each term, and then plus 1 because I added that decimal point between the 1 and the 8. So I had 6 zeros plus 1 is going to give me 7. All right, and very similar to down here, our exponent was the amount of zeros each term has to the right of the decimal point. But of course, first I need to add these two numbers together. So I had, basically I can just add the 625 plus 513. I'm subtracting, my bad. Okay, and I'm going to get 112. Remember, my decimal point is going to go between the first two numbers. So I am going to have 1.12, okay, times the power of 10. And so my number of zeros in that problem was 3. and then I need to add one more because of where the decimal was placed. So I had 3 plus 1, which is going to give me 4. But this has decimals, so your exponent ends up being negative. All right, and the same thing is going to happen over here. The exponent is the amount of zeros each term has to the right of the decimal plus 1. So, again, my first step is going to be to add these two numbers together because I'm using addition. So, I'm going to have 45 plus 2. Okay? So, that means I'm going to get an answer of 47. So 47 is going to go right down here. And we're going to multiply that by a power of 10. And my exponent is going to be negative. And because I had two zeros, I'm just going to add one more to the 2. And because it's decimals, it's going to be negative. And this should be, sorry, 4.7. Alright, so on the next page, you're going to be practicing adding and subtracting with different powers of 10 and write all your answers in scientific notation. So we can just use numbers 1 through 3, for example, from the previous page as a guide. So you're going to be doing 7 through 10 on your packets or on Kami. And then I crossed out 11 through 14. Alright, everybody have a great day and stay safe.